Today we're in the Las Vegas Convention Center for SEMA, and I'm going to be showing you the top 5 Tacomas this year. Let's get started. Alright guys, we're here with Cougar and his 3rd gen Tacoma. What year is it, man?
It's a 2023, yeah.
How long did it take you to build this thing?
So we bought this truck in February with 2,000 kilometers on it. It's long story short, I think like an old guy bought it, realized that this truck wasn't for him. So he took it back to the dealership. He even paid them to wash it. So we picked it up in February. It was bone stock. And it's funny because like Mateo here behind the camera, I used a lot of his information and going back and forth because honestly, it's gonna be funny. I'm a Ford guy. I've always had Fords. Now we've always had Lexus and Toyota cars. So finally getting into a Toyota truck, it's just been amazing. I'm so in love with this thing. We converted
him, guys.
Yeah,
we officially
I've been converted. I've been converted.
Dude, let's start from the front and make our way to the back. This thing is dialed.
Yeah, so we have a ton of armor on this truck. We worked with CBI. The guys over there are amazing. If you're ever in Idaho Falls, you got to check them out. They have a whole campus where they do the engineering, they do the fabrication, the powder coating, all in-house. Great folks there. So we started with the Dakar, the high clearance. Of course, we got to do the cut here. It opens this up completely. We've got the skid plates all the way under the truck, all powder coated. We've got tons of diode dynamic lights on there, completely made in America. If you know diode, you know that they're quality and super, super bright. We got the carbon fiber hood. You know, Mateo, how heavy these stock hoods are.
Dude, how awesome is this hood? And how easy was it to install?
Oh, it was the perfect fitment. So honestly, we've worked with Cybon for a couple other builds, and this is my 4th hood from them, and they've all fit perfect. We just had to take out 2 bumpers, and it just fits perfect. Now, they do recommend putting hood pins in. We also recommend putting PPF on top.
Oh, I did that. I did that with one of our builds. Absolutely recommend it.
It is, yeah, because then your hood is not gonna yellow. It's just gonna take rocks better. So yeah, we have the PPF on this hood. I put some lights under there so it glows and when it's darker out. But yeah, loving the hood. Totally changed the truck. This was one of the last things we put on the truck.
You have 4 suspension wheels and tires.
So we did the 33s. We did a -12 offset, and then for the show we put on a wheel spacer, 1.25 inches. So they're poking quite a bit. I'll be honest, they are rubbing. Lots of Toyota enthusiasts, especially Tacoma, they recommended AccuTune. So if you don't know who AccuTune is, they're from San Diego. They take Fox King suspension, they rebuild it, they put in their own stuff, and they just make it way better than it already is. Ride Shocks is their in-house brand, completely designed and made in San Diego, and these things have been awesome. They came dialed in. I gave them what parts are going on the truck. They figured out the weight, and they completely tuned it here. So if you look to the back of the truck, we don't have no sag, and when we totally load this thing up to go overlanding, it does not sag. It's a complete package from AccuTune with the Ride Shocks. So we've got the Deaver, they're the stage 3. So we go from, I think it's 4 leaf springs to now 9 leaf springs. And it's awesome. Like, I've got some videos where we've taken this off-roading. I actually bent a rim, just giving her. We haven't jumped the truck, but we've definitely put it to work, man.
When you say that, that's because you're thinking about it.
Exactly, exactly. Definitely thinking about it.
Let's talk about the roof real quick.
Yeah, so we went with the Prinzu roof rack, and then of course with Diode Dynamics, they have this cross-link. It fit in here just perfect with the mounts. We got the Pelican cases with the mounts on here. Of course, you want to put your locks on because these cases are not cheap.
Guys, side note here. Cougar did absolutely everything you guys see on this truck. Every single nut, bolt, you did it yourself. Make sure to check him out. He has an awesome Instagram page where he's just constantly, you know, geeking out with tools, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
Hence the reason why you're in this booth.
Yep, I'm a construction guy. We show tools, and obviously I've always been a car enthusiast.
What do you have for rock sliders?
So rock sliders, we've got the CBI. These things are actually bolted to the frame, and the engineers at CBI said these could drop down on rocks from 3 feet before they start bending.
So I've literally used a high lift, and I've lifted the entire vehicle and pulled a recovery where I had to remove the tire from the sliders.
Oh, wow.
And they did not bend. What do you have for the cap back there?
So this is a smart cap. They're forged in Africa. It's stainless steel, powder coated. It's got the gull-wing doors on the side. This one's actually locked, but on the back here,
Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see that.
oh yeah, that is sick. So in the back here, I think my light might be dead here, but oh, there
sick.
it is. Yeah, so there's nothing like this. It's a 5-piece system that it comes in a box and you bolt it all together. Now the big thing is to torque it properly, because guys complain that they leak, but if you torque it properly, it won't leak. This thing has been through all kinds of off-road, we've been through all kinds of weather, days of rain, no leaks at all. Another really cool thing up here is you can see there's like a ram air in the top with a filter in, so when you're driving down that dirt, sandy roads, it's dusty, air rams into it, and this is all closed up, of course, and it creates positive pressure on the inside of the cap, and you're not getting any dust inside, which is just huge. Like you can see, this is clean in here, and this thing we did off-roading, didn't have to clean it at all. So this is called their bins. I think they have like 5 different ones, and you can see it just all bolts in on the side here. This is their kitchen bin, and it's cool, man.
And
We've
it's
used
all
this.
weather sealed.
Yes, and if you look here, look how big their weather seal is to the actual box. Like a lot of guys have noticed that. Like when you put this down, sometimes it just smushes it and it's gone. But this is a massive seal on here. So we've got the whole kitchen here, dude. Now, one thing is you don't really cook up here. You have a table that you put this on because you don't want to be getting grease on your truck. It's got a cutting board that pops out there. We've got all the utensils here. And the cool thing is it's all such tight foam in there, and it's firm foam.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
just seeing you try to like remove this, that thing is in there. Like,
it's tight,
not
man.
flying anywhere.
Nothing rattles in here. It's amazing. There must have been a ton of R&D that went into this.
Dude, what do you have inside your deck?
Yeah, so we've got the deck slide out. This is new to deck. Normally deck had the 2 drawers and you lose that middle. So now we've got one big massive drawer here.
That's awesome, dude. What did you do for armor in the back for your bumper?
So in the back, what we decided to do, I think this would be considered like their classic Tacoma bumper.
How do you like your Alpha X taillights?
Man, they are so nice. People always comment.
What about that tent? How are you liking it?
It's so good. Believe it or not, it's bigger than a king-size bed up there. We went with the deluxe edition, so you get the lights on the bottom here that illuminate the kitchen. You get lights up top there that illuminate the map up there and everything. 5-inch self-inflating foam mattress with memory foam in them, man. So that's the thing. Like for me, construction guy, I'm getting older. I'm sore, man. The body ain't like it used to be. And then when I'm taking my wife out, we wanna be excited to go overlanding. We don't want to dread like the bed.
Kruger, let me ask you this, man. You put all the nuts, bolts, you installed everything on this truck. What advice would you give someone that's just starting out?
Do your research, ask questions, reach out to guys like Mateo. Just take your time, do your research. There's tons of information, there's tons of YouTube out there. Don't just be in a race to put it together. Take your time, have fun, because part of the whole adventure is the road there, not getting there.
You're the man, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, here we are with Daniel, and I cannot wait to show you this 4th gen Tacoma. Daniel, how you doing, man?
How's it going, man?
Dude, this
Good to
thing
meet
is
you.
dialed. I can't
Thank you
wait
so
for
much.
you to show us.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a new 2024 Toyota Trailhunter trim in the bronze oxide color. I know a lot of people have been asking if this is vinyl wrap, but this is actually a matte PPF over the whole car from Steck.
Dude,
yeah.
That looks so good. That color is amazing.
The color is beautiful to begin with, but it looks so military tactical, and I love it. I don't know if people play the game Halo, but it reminds me of the Warthog. That's what I love about it, yeah.
Dude, this is the first Trailhunter build out that we're actually featuring on the channel. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm honored.
Congrats
I'm
on
honored.
that.
Yeah.
So Daniel, let's start from the front and then make our way to the back. What do you have for the front bumper?
The truck features obviously a whole catalog of parts from CBI and Prinsu. So up front we have the CBI covert bumper along with their brush guard. This is kind of an optional add-on piece. Tucked behind here we have a Warn winch, a Xeon winch with the Factor 55. And then we have a whole slew of Baja lights. You're gonna see Baja lights everywhere. We also have a Sabon carbon fiber hood.
How was the installation for that hood?
It's pretty straightforward.
What do you have for fenders?
So again, the fenders, these are also matching pieces from Sabon. So again, same company, they make the 4-piece fenders. And again, you'll see these louvers kind of in the, I think the SR5 Tacomas.
Yeah.
And so with the Trailhunter and the TRD Pro with just the deeper undercuts, it's a shorter flare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were able to integrate these grille designs here as well. So it's kind of cool that they added the aggressive grille design, but allowed it to work for the TRD Pros and the Trailhunters.
That's a good thing to notice. So the TRD Off-Road also has that, and it's good that they were able to integrate.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely, absolutely.
So what do you have for armor? I see you have CBI up in the front. Do you have CBI sliders as well?
Yeah, we have their rock sliders all the way back with a little bit of their kick out. This is great because the Toyota OEM ones are great and functional, but it didn't give me quite the step that I needed to be able to get to the top of the bed rack, right? Or to be able to reach the roof rack. I'm not that tall, so I need the boost. So we have the rock sliders. We have the Prinsu Pro cab rack.
How do you like that rack?
You know, it's so good. I used to have a 3rd gen Tacoma with their original Prinsu rack, and it is a little heavier, but it's so much more robust.
So this is awesome that you mentioned that you had a 3rd gen.
Yes.
I want to pick your brain.
Okay.
Having owned a 3rd gen Tacoma,
Yeah.
now having a 4th gen,
Yeah.
what do you miss from the 3rd gen, and what do you really see that the 4th gen shines on now?
You know what? There's not that much that I miss about the 3rd gen.
No
You
way.
know what I mean? And I didn't go deep down the rabbit hole of the 3rd gen. I used it as a utilitarian truck to be able to pick up parts. I build other sport compact cars. That's predominantly what I do. I have 4 other builds here at SEMA, and so I use it as a parts pickup truck, right? But this is my second sort of like full overland build. I did a Bronco Raptor 2 years ago. And when the Trailhunter came out and I had the opportunity to choose between TRD Pro and Trailhunter, I felt like to be able to do an adventure truck like this again was perfect, right? This is the perfect platform for it. And really the one thing that stands out about the 4th gen, it really is the design. I think the new design language that you're seeing across the Tundras, the Tacomas, and sort of even overlapping into the Land Cruisers, I just like it. I love the Toyota.
What about
SUV
the engine?
design.
Everybody's hating on the 4-banger.
I think it's like until you try it, you don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a better engine right now. And again, I trust me, I was right there. When I heard the news, when I saw the original specs, I did hesitate, I did cringe, but this car's doing well. Like, I mean, it's carrying all this gear and you know what I mean? It's doing well right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. So since you mentioned that it's carrying all this weight, I don't want to get too far back there,
Yeah.
but what did you do for the rear suspension in order to be able to not sag?
Yeah, so right now for the show, we have Peak Suspension did their leveling kit. Like, I think it's like an inch and a quarter right now. And they're in full development for a full shock system. I don't know the specifications on that, but it's supposed to be ready in about 60 days. So when that's ready, this will go to a full shock system from Peak Suspension.
What about wheels and tires? What are you rocking?
Raze is really investing into off-road applications, and so they have a whole line of Raze off-road wheels, and I have a brand new set of wheels called the D325. They were really kind enough. I was really begging them to do a bronze finish because the Trailhunter comes equipped with bronze.
Yeah.
And again, following this military tactical theme,
Yeah.
I knew I needed this sort of matte satin bronze finish, and they nailed it.
These are from AlphaX.
Yes.
They kind of have that OEM vibe. How have you been liking them so far?
Yeah, so I got my chance to get, I actually watched one of your build videos, a collaboration you guys did with AlphaX, and that's kind of what inspired me. I mean, I've worked with AlphaX on a few other projects, and I reached out to them and said, I saw your headlights and taillights. Is there any chance that I can get a set for SEMA? And they were kind enough to be able to get me this set. I love the fact that you can configure these to run amber or the white DRLs.
Yeah.
I ended up running amber just because
that's gotta look so sick with
It
this
looks
truck.
sinister, yeah. So it's great. The startup sequence animation is always a fun conversation piece, right? I always like sit there and I lock and unlock the vehicle just to show off. And so I have also the matching set of taillights from AlphaX as well. So it's a really great lighting package, like I said.
Let's move to the back.
Yeah.
What do you have for your awning?
The awning and the tent comes from FSR. I have the 270 awning here. It's a passenger side. It'll wrap around the truck this direction. And we have their Evolution 2 V2 tent. The challenge though was it's a big tent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a long tent. And so in order to get it to work, we had to make some compromises. Originally, CBI sent over their overland rack, which it comes in both for short bed configuration and long bed configuration. This rack, though, only comes in short bed, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a bit of spacing.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like if I didn't point that out for a lot of people, most people wouldn't know that.
You're right about that.
So,
that was something I did not notice.
Yeah, and so, the guys over at Peak who helped me assemble this truck said, hey, let's center the rack, let's visually make it look centered to the tent, and I think we're gonna be able to get away with this. And it ended up being the right solution.
Oh, you did mention that in the back seat, you did do a rear seat delete. Do you mind showing us?
Yeah, so going into the back of this, you'll see actually the Goose Gear rear seat delete. So this Obviously with the hybrid system on the driver's side, you do have limited storage. And what I love about it, it's a 60-40 split. So I do have children and sometimes they do go. I mean, obviously for SEMA, we wanted to do the 100%, but this gives me the ability like really quickly because it's a couple bolts and the system comes out and I can reverse and put the seats back in. I can probably do 100% reverse probably in about 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
15 minutes?
15 minutes, yeah, because it's just a couple bolts, like 3 or 4 bolts. The delete comes right out and your seats go in with 2 bolts.
So you see, as a Tacoma owner, I've been a Tacoma owner since, dude, forever.
Yeah.
Everyone was hating on the back seats and like spacing back here, and it's almost like they don't understand that Tacoma kind of mindset of, how would you explain that we don't really need the seats in the back?
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Tacoma originally started off with like an Axis cab, let's be honest, right? You used to have like in the like late 90s, early 2000s, you had a small little bench, right? That's where it's coming from, right? The fact that Toyota decided to throw 2 extra doors on here, you're not buying this because you're getting a comfortable everyday 4-seater use, right? But it does give you the versatility, right? Because I would rather take this and slightly tighter like rear seat room and have the versatility to use this as a storage space, whether you're putting a fridge in here or other camping equipment or other, like, let's say temperature sensitive gear, like you have camera equipment, this is the place you would want to store it, not out back, right?
100%.
So I like the versatility of this. And again, like I said, you know, if I needed to carry a 3rd passenger, I could take out the 40%, put 1 seat in here, we can carry 3 passengers and still have 60% storage. Or the reverse, I could put the 60% in here, give you more comfortable seating, and then have at least this 40% for, you know, and I could throw that whole, you saw this whole Pelican case sat here. Yeah. So yeah.
No, that's amazing, the amount of space.
Yeah.
Daniel, I think we hit all the main points, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
congrats
you so
on
much.
making it to the top 5.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the honor. I appreciate it.
Next, we're here with Overland Vehicle Systems. I'm here with Leon, and he's gonna be showing us this amazing 4th gen. How's it going, man?
Doing great.
Dude, let's start from the front and make our way all the way to the back.
So yeah, we've got the CBI bumper with the winch incorporated.
I see you have some Factor 55 fair leads.
Does have the fair lead, yes.
You got a winch in there?
Yes, there is a winch. Scar, OVS Scar winch, 12,000 pound synthetic line.
What are your thoughts on the Alpha X headlights?
They look fantastic, really, and they actually work, they're functional, just a good looking light.
All right, man, what do you have up top?
So we got a Prinsu rack with the LP4 lighting from Baja. Got our new tent. This is the Excursion tent and cap setup with our XT270 awning.
Dude, this awning is insane, guys. Just take a look at how big it is and how much
huge
coverage you get from it.
Yes, exactly.
So what do we have back here? Is this a full camper?
Yes, and it's sold in 2 pieces. So you'll be able to buy the Excursion cap independently for $3,000 retail, and the Excursion tent, which will have a cutout here, for another $3,000.
Essentially, you can get to the tent from the cap.
Yes, exactly. And it has all the features and benefits of our standard caps as well.
How much does all of this weigh?
That's the great part about this too, is it doesn't really weigh a whole lot. This is a stamped steel, and it is stainless steel. This portion of it only weighs about 200 pounds. And the top
That's not bad at all.
Not at all, no. And the tent is aluminum, so that one is also right around 200. So you're only looking at about 400 pounds total.
And you got yourself a camper.
We do, yes.
So guys, one thing that I noticed is the truck is not sagging at all, which is huge. I took a peek down there. The actual owner's not here to clarify on what springs are down there, but it seems like they're stock. So that's pretty awesome with the stance. Don't quote me on that though. I see you have Alpha X taillights. These are really nice. One of the cool things about these taillights is you'll still rock the factory button that brings down the tailgate. And a must-have in our industry is the mountain hatch insert. Just awesome for cooking, cutting, doing whatever it is that you need to do. You basically have a table back here.
And you got that. You also have our OVS mats, which will be coming out here very shortly.
No way, dude, what? Is this yours too?
No, that is not. Just the mat.
That's a really nice feature. Man, this mat is amazing. I can't wait for you guys to take that out. What about lighting? Is that included?
That we actually kind of just did on our own here. Kind of spice it up and kind of look good so you can actually see everything inside here and what we're actually, the quality you can see built into the cap.
What about that ladder? Because that's something that also caught my attention. Will that be included with the cap and this whole setup?
Yes, it will. It's collapsible and it'll fold up and right into that tray.
Oh yeah, sweet, man. Well, thank you so much, Leon.
No problem.
Truck's looking good, man.
Great. Thank you, Mateo.
All right, guys, up next, I'm here with Bryce. what do we have back here, man?
Man, we got a bunch of sweet stuff on our new 2024 Tacoma that we built with TacomaBeast just a few months ago. We're excited to showcase it here at SEMA. We got a bunch of stuff on the front end here. First of all, we got our C4 bumper. That's their low pro bumper with the high clearance wings. That thing's sick. I love this. Inside the bumper, we have the Factor 55 Fairlead crosslink with the Warn Evo 10S winch. And then inside there, we've got our Baja Designs S2s just for some fog lights. Also got some down here in the bumper as well. And then of course, can't forget the Alpha X headlights. And this is my favorite part, obviously.
I'm super excited, guys, because Bryce has been talking about this app that they're working on, and I'm about to witness it for the first time with you guys.
Yeah, so this thing's sick. So we've got a new Alpha X app, and with the app, you're able to control your full headlight. So, you know, we always hear amber and white. This truck we built to do amber and white, but you're able to switch it back and forth just with the click of the app. So we've got amber right there, white right there.
No!
Easy does it. You can also switch between either sequential or blink turn signals.
That's
so
amazing.
If you don't like sequential, get rid of it. And then we're gonna have multiple activation features for you to where you can pick and choose what kind of activation feature you like. So this is super cool. It's gonna be coming out pretty soon to the public, but we're showcasing it here at SEMA first.
Dude, I cannot wait to have that
It's
app.
gonna be sick. You can also run multiple vehicles. So if you have, I don't know, 2 or 3 vehicles that have Alpha X on it, you can have a whole garage with all your vehicles on there.
Question for you. If you had the old headlights, will this still work with those, or it's only going to be available with the new ones?
We are working on it to where you can retrofit it to your old headlights. It'll just be an extra module. We're still working on it though. Right now it'll just come on new headlights, but we're working on making it work for old headlights as well.
Dude, that's sick.
It's dope.
What else do you have on this thing?
And we got this thing loaded. Like I said, we got more Baja Designs up here. We got their linkable kit up on the roof, as well as some Squadron Pro ditch lights. And then we've got, of course, the Vossen wheels with Toyota tires. Got the 2 different color wheels on there. One of the favorite parts with the split wrap. This thing's sick.
What do you have for suspension?
Suspension, we're rocking the Ivan Stewart kit with Camberg and MagnaFlow. So we got Camberg upper control arms up here, along with their Dominator preload collar. And then we also have their upper and lower trailing arm in the rear. So these things are super beefy, all billet, they're sick. And then we've got the C4 sliders right there, along with C4 skid plates underneath.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's move on to the back.
Dude, the back, bed
What do you have for the bed rack?
Bed setup's one of my favorites. So this is the Kuat Ibex bed rack. This thing is sick, it's super modular. So out of the box, it can be mid-height or full height. You got their Molly panels, their bike rack, of course, and then we've got the Free Spirit Recreation tent up top.
Hell yeah, dude. How does this work exactly?
Yeah, so this thing, really, really easy. Just clamp that down, boom, pop it up. Clamp that down, boom, pop it up.
And you just put your bike in
Lock
there.
your bike in, strap it down, ready to go.
That is awesome. One of the new things that you guys just did is the reflective TacomaBeast and Alpha X decal. That's like really good.
Yeah, we're all about lighting. This is 3M reflective material. I don't know if it'll pick it up on camera, but let me just show you a sneak peek here. So we're gonna just, you know, it's just a black decal, right? Well, we're gonna take a picture of that, and boom, we got reflective.
Wow, that's awesome, man. One of the new things that you also have on this truck that we didn't have when we built it out are the taillights.
The taillights, yep. This is our new Nova Series taillight. Brand new line of taillight. We have prismatic technology in there to give you that 3D depth, just like what we have with the headlights. These are super bright, have all the same features as our headlights: activation signal, sequential turn signals, bright reverse lights. And then we also retain that factory tailgate drop. So we never want to lose features with upgraded products. So we've got your tailgate drop there to both lift and lower that, and so you can just add that in from your stock lights.
Amazing. Hell yeah, dude. Last thing that I see here, what do you have for the bumper?
Yep, so again, C4 Fab. We've got their rear bumper here. This thing's super beefy, and then got some more S2 Baja Designs in there.
Hell yeah, dude. If you could give advice to someone that's just starting out their build, what would it be?
Oh man, well if you're really off-roading, armor first, well maybe lighting first, you know, maybe some Alpha X lights first, and then armor is super important. But man, be unique, build something crazy just like this, you know, make it your own style.
Hell yeah, thanks Bryce, you're the
course.
man. All right guys, I'm here with Scott and we're at the Icon Vehicle Dynamics booth. This 4th gen Tacoma is insane and Scott's gonna tell us all about it. Dude, let's start from the front and make it all the way to the back. How are you today?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
It's going.
Awesome. So this is our 24 Tacoma. This was our same one you've probably seen all the stuff on our Instagram and all the social media stuff. It already had our stage 14 kit on it, which was cool, worked great, but we always wanted to go bigger. And so we went bigger. So what you're seeing here is the culmination of a couple of months worth of work and some mad scientist stuff from our R&D department. You'll see we made a custom bumper here. Some version of this will eventually probably make it to production. Got some KC lights in here, super bright, running the Alpha X headlights.
How are you liking those?
They're super cool. Like, I mean, I've been always a stock headlight guy because I was like, oh, they usually look cheap, but these look rad.
Super
you know what I
OEM.
mean? Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
So I like all the stuff that it does as far as the the dynamics of the lights moving.
Fenders.
Fenders.
Let's talk about, so this is huge. I'm super happy. I just want to say this.
Yeah.
That Icon took their time to develop this kit that I cannot wait to show you, because it takes some time to develop products for a new vehicle, and I think you guys are leading it right now.
We're trying, man. We're working hard. So yeah, we got fiberglass. Why do we have fiberglass? Well, we're long travel here, pals. These are Fiberworks fenders, custom designed for us around the dimensions of this system, which I'll tell you right now before you can see it, we're a 3.5 inch over long travel, but we're not 3.5 inches wider. We're running a specific offset. This is our Recon Pro wheel that's made in a specific 40 millimeter, positive 40 millimeter offset, so we're sucking that tire back in. So in reality, we're ending up with the width of a 2 inch over kit, but it's a 3.5 inch over kit by the time it's all set.
So the offset is a positive 44, you said?
Positive 40.
40.
Oh,
so with
40.
the 4th gens, the offset and the stance is completely changing from what we were
Completely.
used to on the 3rd gens, where you would see something as wild as a negative 25.
Right.
But now it's like we're almost doing it right.
Right, exactly. So before we were like a 23, we'd run a 0 millimeter offset all day. A 0 on this thing is wide, and it's not good. So
It's really wide.
Yeah, we do a 25 mil offset too, and that's good. And the 40 will work great on our production 3-inch lift kits and all that stuff, or the normal suspension systems, mid-travel stuff. But it works really well on the long travel.
Hell yeah.
So
Show me what you got in there.
So there she is. What we have is a 2.5 inch coilover. Meant to have a 3.0 for the show, but we ran out of time. But it actually works out because this is the same exact coilover that we had in here before. This kit will be designed to reuse an OE replacement coilover under the assumption that you're already starting with some sort of shock package. So you don't have to buy it again, when in reality they're
Oh, wow.
only a minor difference in length, and we normally have to do that. So designed around that. Secondary shocks will have multiple options there, 2.5 bypasses, CDC valves, E-valves, all of that. And then the billet aluminum upper arm, 3 inches wider. We're gonna do a tube version of this as well. It has our Delta Joint Pro ball joint, and all the other features just longer as all of our other control arms. And down below, fully fabbed, box lower, big beefy guy. We're running Delrin bushings on the frame pivots to keep that strong and relatively noise-free, better than urethane. But that's the plan, to have this turnkey. Everything from the arms, the shocks, to the fiberglass, to the axles, could be available as one SKU. We buy one part number, stage, infinity, and you literally get everything on here.
So will you also be selling components like the bypass shock hoop kit?
Yes, that's is planned already, even outside of the long travel kit, where I have a version of that for the regular stock width.
Dude, that's amazing. How much travel up in the front?
13 and a quarter with 4-wheel
13
drive.
and a quarter, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's
for
functional.
Tacoma?
More stuff up front, you can't see it. We partnered up with Stillen, and we're running their exhaust underneath. But the cool thing is their tuner. So they called the True Control, and this guy's adding about 60 horsepower, and I forget the torque numbers, but that combined with the re-gear to 488s, hopefully she's not going to be slow on 37.
So you did re-gear this?
Yes.
What did you use for gears?
We used East Coast Gear Supply 488s.
Okay, and I peeked down there and I feel like you also replaced the entire rear axle.
Correct, yeah, it's got an East Coast Gear Dana 60 back there, which is a little overkill. That was a late edition. We're like, okay, sure, let's do that. But the production kit will include, will be set up around the stock axles.
Anything in the interior?
So we got all leather interior from Aaliyah Leather, rugged radios, Switch Pros, SDHQ provided all the mounts for all the Switch Pro stuff. So this guy's all wired, and it is all wired. I know it's SEMA, so it's a thing. Everything works. We're actually scheduled to go out testing next week, so we're excited to actually use all that stuff. So
I want to make sure I don't skip on anything, but
Okay.
if we can already go to the back, talk
Sure.
about the fiberglass back here.
Sure.
You know, how wide is this? And then suspension, obviously.
I'll be honest, I don't know the width yet because this is designed, Fiberworks designed these around our track width increase and with that 40 mil offset taken into account. So I believe that Fiberworks is planning on doing their own SKUs, but then they'll also offer this SKU, you know, and we'll sell it as that kit. We're still figuring that out. This is the first set of these in existence. The real part. This will be a bolt-on 3-link conversion for the rear end that will ultimately end up cycling approximately 18 inches of wheel travel. What this is here is a beefier version of that that cycles 19 inches of rear travel. So we're running shocks through the bed with 3.0 5.2 bypasses with CD EV as well. And these are actually old race takeoffs that we've had sitting on the shelf for a while. And so they're not new by any means. It's just, we don't typically make those for production stuff. It's all special projects, race cars, but we've made up to 7 tube bypasses before.
Dude, that's insane. Was it a challenge to work around the gas tank?
Honestly, no, not at all. And if you will see, check it out. The Tacoma has better clearance from the fuel tank than the Tundra does, right?
Do you guys have a price range on what that's gonna cost, this whole kit?
It's hard to say. We were spitballing earlier, just assuming if you bought everything, you know, LT front, LT rear, all the axles and the big shocks and all that stuff, we're probably, don't quote me, 18 to 20 would be my rough guess.
I mean, at that point, you have a setup that's ready to just go.
Right, and if you think about it, if you're doing the same stuff from, you know, multiple different manufacturers, it's probably end up costing you a bit more because you're having to, you know, just get everything from everybody else. So this will be a one-stop shop.
Dude, I love it that these hoops are not really welded on.
It's a
They're
bolt-on
just
cage.
Bolt-on kit.
And if you see,
And that cage will be part of the kit that you guys are gonna sell.
some version of it. So this cage mounts the Pro Eagle, a couple of
that's
37-inch spares, shock reservoir, and you can see the shocks all poking up there. But some version of this, again, it's not needed. The actual production kit will end up with a hoop in the wheel well and no need to have shocks through the bed. It's not, we just did it for that extra level of awesome, basically.
Dude, this thing is awesome. I see you have some taillights back there. Where are those from?
These are also the Alpha Rex taillights. Very, again, dynamic with the lights. You know, it's not just blinking anymore. You've got all kinds of cool stuff.
Dude,
And
I'm jealous you guys get to go out and test this vehicle. Anything else that we might have missed?
the only way we're able to show this thing off is the bend pack. And they were generous enough to bring this out and set it up for us. And this thing sitting on the ground, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as cool. So the plan was to go up and down like throughout the day. But once it was up, we're like, well, this is way cooler. So we just left it there.
All right, dude, truck's on the ground.
Truck's on the
stance
ground.
on it is just absolutely amazing. I love it. I actually want to go this route with my 4th gen, and I think I might be hitting you guys up.
I think I might be able to help, man.
Dude,
So
that's awesome. Dude, thank you so much for making it happen.
anytime. Thanks for coming by.
All right, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Let me know which truck you like the best. If you guys haven't done so, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.